Survey responses are pure gold, but only if you know what to do with them. So here's how to automate the perfect next steps every time. A survey response is only valuable if you take action on it. So today I'm going to be walking you through how to take your feedback responses, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral, and turn that into targeted follow-up actions. We won't be using HubSpot's defaults either. I'm going to show you how to refine your criteria so you always trigger the right actions so that we don't accidentally ruin the friendship or cause any bad blood. Let's dive in. So as I stated, we're going to kind of stay away from the HubSpot defaults when it comes to this workflow build. But if you are familiar with using the feedback surveys tool already, you'll know that there's always this last tab here for automation that allows you to basically do kind of the same thing that I'm describing here to automate your follow-up actions. And you can do some basic workflow creation right here from within the survey. What this doesn't take into consideration is any additional filters that you might want to apply on top of it to really customize and take things to the next level. So especially if you're going to have multiple surveys for different reasons or different groups of customers, maybe you're using them at different times of the year to ask different types of questions, to come in here and have to create the workflows every single time would kind of be a little daunting when you can probably clone workflows a lot easier and replicate them to make the tweaks that you need throughout the year just using the regular workflow builder. So instead, we are going to just go ahead and jump into creating a workflow basically from scratch here using the feedback survey responses as our enrollment trigger. All right, so we're going to start building out our filters and making sure that we are basing this off of survey responses. The great thing about this is that we can really create some larger overarching themes when it comes to how we follow up with the different response types that we're getting. Again, in this use case, like maybe you have different types of NPS surveys or your CSAT or custom surveys, all the different types that you can have, but maybe you have multiple versions for each, and you actually want to streamline it so that it is all the same follow-up actions across all of that particular type. So that could be kind of one of our first filters here, is to just filter by the survey type. So then we can group all of our custom surveys, all of our customer loyalty, customer satisfaction, or just regular customer support surveys. So that's kind of the beauty of doing this, is you can build it once potentially and never have to build it again. So today let's focus on feedback from the NPS surveys. So we're going to go ahead and start with that as the type. But again, why not take things to the next level and really add additional filters and criteria here to refine exactly who we're looking to get a response from or have specific follow-up actions for. So maybe we want to even further by the type of contact that submitted that, especially if these are going out to, maybe the wider team of your entire customer base for that company and not just primary contacts, but maybe you only want to follow up with that primary contact. So we could add in some additional filters here by contact type or however you might be using certain designations, but maybe we want to make sure that we're only targeting our primary contacts that have filled out this customer loyalty survey. Or maybe we just want to target ones that have recently become a customer. So maybe we just want to do date entered customer. So in what they became a customer life cycle, maybe just for this quarter, this month, this year, something like that, to really further refine or make changes to building these workflows out. So this is where we can really have fun with kind of combining and mixing different criteria about the contact, whether it's the company associated and maybe you want to refine by industry. This is really where you get to have all that fun. So let's just go ahead and just say primary contacts for this example. So anyone that has submitted the NPS survey and is a primary contact, we want to establish some really specific goals with our targeted action items. So then we'll go ahead and continue here. All right, so now what? Now we need to figure out how we are going to segment, right? So I picked NPS because that one is a pretty easy one to go ahead and segment, since NPS does already bucket people based on whether they're a detractor, whether they're passive, or they're a promoter. So we can use that exact same logic to really go ahead and establish what our follow-up actions are going to be. So we're going to use our branches here and go ahead and use the sentiment that's already being captured to go ahead and develop those branches. So we're just going to click on our sentiment, and then we'll be able to go and select which ones we're looking for. So again, for NPS, we're going to have our detractor. Then we're also going to have our, where is it, passive? There it is. And finally, our promoters. All right, and we'll go ahead and save that to create our branches. So now our branches are looking a little bit more like the defaults from HubSpot, where you have them kind of already bucketed based on their response. But honestly, that is a great way for us to segment the type of actions that they're going to need. Really, the biggest difference is that we further refined, who actually gets enrolled in this workflow, rather than it being a blanket slate for all contacts that submit those surveys. Now, of course, I use that sentiment as an example, but you can also use other properties. So especially if you have a custom survey, I'll go ahead and just add it as a separate branch here just to show you. You can create your custom questions, right, as an actual saved property. So that way, we have an example here of how do you feel. You'd be able to use other types of responses that you're gathering to also create these branches. So if there is very specific questions that you're asking, especially again in custom surveys, then that would make a little bit more sense. For NPS, that's a little more well-rounded. That's something that everyone kind of uses as an industry standard. So for that, we really don't need to be too crazy in coming up with our buckets. But again, if you do have some custom questions and other ways that you want to segment, this would be still a great way to do it and create more of that overarching effect here. Now let's talk about what steps we're actually going to take now that we know we have the right people and we got to take that next action item, right? So I guess starting off, we'll go with our promoters here. So they have obviously had a great experience with us. We love that. That's always a good news, but we want to make sure we are spreading that good news far and wide. So in this case, I have a review request email already created and ready to go here so that we can send that out. Really make sure that we're capturing those positive reviews, making sure that that is shared globally as far and wide as we can get it. This would also be a great opportunity to ask people for video testimonials if you use those, or maybe inviting them to do some sort of interview for you guys to have a case study or anything else to that effect. Now, I'd also venture off to say that at this point, if they are a promoter, that could also be a signal for you to go ahead and actually edit that contact's lifecycle stage for something like evangelist, which I know isn't always typically used. I don't see it used that often, but I do think this is a great way to start to segment who those top customers are and who those people are that are truly happy as well. So we could always come and actually update those contact records. Change either custom properties or, like I said, in this case, using a life cycle stage of evangelist for someone that you know for sure would be out there spreading the good news and the good word about how much they love working with you. So that would be a really great way to continue to nurture and maybe having special incentives for these different types of contacts. Now, of course, you can always add other internal notifications for these types of things as well. So if you have integration with Slack or with Teams, or just want a little in-app notification to celebrate, you can obviously continue on and create a couple of other actions. But I think at the very least, if we know they're a promoter, let's make sure we secure and get that review request or video testimonial or whatever those next steps might be for your organization. Now, on the passive kind of neutral side, if someone is, not really sure exactly how they're feeling about you, I think that's a great way for you to kind of ask for more specific feedback. Now, of course, not everyone is always going to submit it, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and try, right? So in this case, I'm going to be putting in place another automated email that goes out, and basically it's just an additional feedback request with a form that can just kind of collect more detailed information about maybe what they're experiencing, and could speak to different objections or reasons why someone might not be a promoter for you. So I would also challenge you to maybe want to take on a task here to kind of follow up with them based on whoever is managing that account. If you do have dedicated account managers or customer relationship managers, anything to that kind of nature, go ahead and give them a little heads up, like, hey, we did get a neutral NPS score, and let's do something with that. Let's maybe review. And again, we can always come in here and update the information. So we can make sure that we go and grab the associated contact. And go ahead and add that in as some tokens that we can pre-fill here. So that way we can grab things like their name. First name. And let's go last name, just so it's a little bit more targeted in what they need to do here. So maybe let's create an action plan to, better build that relationship. So for something like this, maybe you don't need it to be an immediate task, but maybe something that they do over, the course of the next week to make sure that they're following up with them and seeing what they can do to obviously better support or better service that team member that submitted the survey. Then always just make sure you do have that task being assigned. Of course, you can do things like add additional priorities or put that in a task queue too. All right, so we've got a little bit of action starting to happen here by creating this task and making sure, hey, let's see what we can do to get things back on track. And last but not least, of course, we've got our sad detractors here at the end that are just not happy. Things are not going according to plan, but we want to make sure that we try to rectify that situation. So in cases like this, I probably would say, maybe we don't have an automatic email, but instead we're alerting our team and making sure the right parties are in fact alerted and involved with what's going on, so that we can move things in the right direction. So for something like this, I would actually change into an internal email and make sure that we are, sending to either a management team or specific users that are, over your service team or anything like that, to make sure that the right parties are being involved. So definitely want to make sure we alert the owner, and then let's say Camille's team is also just kind of in management as well over the service department. So making sure that we've got the right parties there. Then here, same kind of thing. We're just going to have a notice that we've got NPS, detractor, feedback. And again, let's go ahead and grab in that associated contact and put in their name. First name, last name, and maybe even their company name, just to kind of help, further distinguish who that is. And then, of course, I would encourage you to develop some sort of action plan and understanding to make sure, we are synced internally to discuss something along those lines, to make sure that we are developing an action plan. All right. So I would make sure that that is also still followed up with an actual task, kind of along the same lines, but making sure that there is something with a true to do and not just a notification. So really, I'm going to just kind of put the same thing in here, NPS detractor. And maybe let's also, send follow-up to them personally rather than automated. And again, we're going to go grab that information. company name. I think we also used in the last step. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and send that, and maybe in the notes here, we'll go ahead and change that to be immediate. We want to make sure we get that message out quickly. In the body here, kind of provide further instructions for, use an email template. There we go. And then obviously insert, name or link of the template that they should use to follow up. And basically kind of get things moving, but I would definitely encourage you to always make sure that there is some sort of action that's being taken here. All right, let's get that saved and take a look back. So we've got internal notification going to both, the contact owner, but then any management team or other parties that are responsible and kind of overseeing that service department, but also that task for personal follow-up here rather than automated, since they're already angry. We don't want to make things worse. We want to try to rectify that situation as best as we can. So now we can continue, obviously, to build these out with additional tasks or reminders to make sure things are not falling through the cracks. But I think overall, we've got a good structure here of making sure that we are not only just customizing who actually gets enrolled in these workflows and not just having everyone have the same action, but being able to branch that into different areas based on how they're responding, whether that's an overall sentiment or very specific questions that you're looking to keep track of. And then being able to, send some automated follow-up or more personalized approaches when needed, having tasks to follow up as well, or updating records to appropriate properties as well. So if you want even more ways to work smarter in HubSpot, be sure you subscribe and check out our full playlist below.